Hi everyone, I'm going live with Laila, so come on to the live, and if you're seeing this later, check out the replay. We'll be talking about channeling today. Welcome to the Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast, where we speak about all things related to spirituality, soul level healing, intuitive guidance, frequencies, and much more. I'm Amy Sikarskie, licensed vocational nurse, past life hypnotherapist, master intuitive energy healer, and a clairvoyant physical channel. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Spirit School Online, where we offer courses in energy therapy, free guided meditations, courses and information around learning to connect in with your spirit guides, and much more. You can find me at amysikarskie.com and offerings at spiritschoolonline.com.
So for anyone who didn't see the announcements, we're going to be talking to Amy, who channels the Council of Light. And we're just going to dive into a little bit about who makes up the Council of Light. I'd love to ask some questions like that because I actually don't know if I've ever dived into that and asked you some of these questions about the Council of Light, and then as well how they show up in regards to your retreats and your services that you offer when you channel. So if you want to introduce yourself to anyone who might not be aware of you and let them know how you show up.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Amy Sikarskie, and I am an intuitive channel, which means I use all the clairsenses to receive communication. I'm also a physical channel, so I allow them to come through my vocal cords, and when I physically channel, my voice changes. So it's like a more advanced way of channeling. And I work with archangels, the Council of Light, spirit guides, elemental realm, all kinds of spiritual support for the intuitive channeling. And then when I do the physical vocal channeling, that's when the Council of Light comes through. And the Council of Light is a broad group, a beautiful collective of mostly star beings, so there'll be different representatives from different star races. And I have a little series at my school, which is Spirit School Online. It's called an activation transmission. And if you go in there, I go through, I think, like 7 different star races. And that was really a fun experience because it was just so cool. Like, I could feel my team around holding space, and then they would invite in a different spokesperson, and you can really feel each of the different star races. And my intention for that was because I was getting a lot of questions from people. They would want to know, what star race am I from? Am I a star seed? And so it allows you the opportunity to feel the frequency and kind of see how your energy responds. But in that experience, it was really nice for me as a channel to feel the love and support that was around. And I think it was like the Arcturians or the Syrians, maybe, that their energy was quite a bit different than mine. And so I could feel my guides holding like my body around me while this new, really kind frequency came through. And I am more, like, my energy is more akin to the Andromedans and the Lyrians, the Pleiadians. So it was just fun to see the difference. But all of us are here for this purpose and reason to help with the transition on Earth. And we have an amazing team of guides in spirit. And also, it's like, you're amazing. So some people give all the credit to the spirit guides and the angels, and they're there to help us, but don't dim your, like, you're just, that spark that you have. Don't ever feel like you're not important, because lately what's been coming through is actually like, we're the ones here. We're the ones doing this work here in the physical body that get to experience that contrasting vibration of what is it like to be a human and navigate through like the daily stuff, gotta run my kids here. There's this phone call. I need to pay a bill. And then also be in the spiritual world where I'm channeling all day and doing these readings. So, gosh, I'm just going off.
Flowing. I love that. No, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But the Council of Light, they're sweet. Just they're beautiful like guides, and everybody can work with them. That's what they want to share.
Like, what is their main message for people? Like, what is their main? So I kind of was like, how do they help humanity, or what is their goal?
Yeah. Well, number one, they're consistently giving me messages of encouragement and support, and they also recognize our challenges, you know? So I get heads up all the time that things are going to happen, and they don't tell me everything, but I can feel the energy, and then they'll prepare us for it. So at the beginning of the year, I was sharing on the podcast. So my podcast is Spirit and Soul Healing Podcast, and they came in and they were talking about ways to manage and govern our energies because we're going to need it. Like there was going to be a wave of frequency coming in that could be extremely disruptive. And mostly that message was for light workers and empaths so they can prepare themselves for those in their community, people that wouldn't know really how to regulate energies or what just happened. So they give us sometimes timelines and little bits of messages as the people that we are working with others, giving us that heads up for our own personal care. And then they also give messages and how to support others, and to get to that, to support others, you first need to support yourself. So they're really here to support the light workers so that we can then expand and do our piece, our part in the mission here on earth. And the mission and the goal is to help us heal all this past trauma that's been here from generation to generation and be able to move to that new earth dimension. So that new frequency, which many of us are holding this space right now as if we are a bridge. We're in it, we're holding that platform. And so we communicate and we still work with those that we love and those that we're here to help that are going through their own awakening process and healing. And then over here, we've already seen and we felt the new earth, and we can sense that unity and that peace and that coming together. So they help us. It's like this beautiful light that shines over all of us. And yeah, as anybody, so anyone can communicate with them. And when you do, you're going to find, like, for me, I feel like I'm in the middle. I'm like right here in the middle with the light shining down, holding frequencies, for both, for that transition. So yeah, they're just really supportive. They want the best for all of us.
That's awesome. And I think what's interesting is people hear like terms like the Council of Light or I channel this, and they feel as though these must be people who are select few that are chosen to like channel and be involved in this kind of energy. But what you're saying is anyone can really connect into the Council of Light. They're here for, humanity, for raising love and consciousness and supporting those that maybe feel, supporting everyone, but especially those who are willing to do the work of holding their light and clearing their past trauma, and how that helps then other people on the planet as well. And so do they differentiate themselves within the council? Do people need to go, well, they didn't say that this is Andromedan, or they didn't say I'm the Council of Light, but I'm feeling this beautiful energy and essence. Like, how do people know if they're connecting into that?
Yeah. Well, I knew because so my first like awakening to that I was a star seed, a star being like have star seed energy was in past life regressions. Actually, like the first one, this beautiful dragon came in, and then it was more to my awareness that dragons work with star beings. And I had never experienced any of that. And I am a grounded, educated woman, y'all. I'm a nurse, I'm a hypnotherapist. I never had these fantasy dreams of other worlds and realms. And so I felt all of the energy of it that just brought so much love. And I was like, what just happened? And it rocked my world in a good way. I was like, okay, we need to look at this more. So starting to really open to what is a star seed. And this was like 2011, 2012, right? And so then from that point, working with my team, and I had this really profound experience as a hypnotherapist doing some work with a friend of mine. We traded off and on, and then this council started coming through. And they were like, if you guys want to help bring through a message, we have a lot to say. We have a lot to share. So my my personal guides introduced me to the Council of Light. And then later on, it was known that, this was kind of predestined in a way that I would have that opportunity. But it's my free will choice to say, yes, let's do this. I'm here to help support. So my introduction was based on this knowing of my own soul frequency, knowing my guides and their vibration, and then having that introduction to them. And it was very, they're saying right now, professional. Like, okay, guys. So it was very like, there was a lot of respect, there was a lot of love, and it was very clear. This is what we're going to be doing. And then it was feeling their energy, and their energy came in through different frequencies, soft, like really gentle to my body until I could hold them. So then the more and more that I could hold their frequency, they would come in closer. And throughout the period, different spokespeople would come through. So if you ever listen to the channeled messages, which there's a lot of them at Spirit School Online, you can sometimes tell the voice changes. Sometimes I have different accents. And to me, being here, I'm fully present when it happens. It's a pulsation of light that comes through my vocal cords. It's a literal frequency and a wavelength that alters the vibration, and that's how the accent comes out. I'm like, wow. So it's just really unique and a kind of a fun experience. But overall, it's the message that they share. And I never said to them, okay, let me distinguish who's speaking. From what star race, until people had a lot of questions. And to me, it was like, all I feel is love. I don't need to put like these little labels on it. I was like, all I feel is love and positive message. But when we did bring through the activations, that's when it started to kind of be like more individualized, where you could feel the different frequencies. And they're bringing this to me. Well, here we go. So one time I channeled them. Well, I've channeled them multiple times in Mount Shasta, but this one time that I did, they introduced me to a Telos being, and that was really cool because I definitely felt like this strong protection around me. Not that I really like needed it. He obviously was a nice being, but it was to let me know how safe I was, and they vet anything that wants to come through. They're like my gatekeepers. So I have a gatekeeper as well, but they take that role as also. And it was really cool because I was channeling with a group on the mountain at Bunny Flats, I think. And I was channeling the Council of Light, and I could see in my mind's eye this gentleman walk forward in the full Telos outfit. And he was just waiting on the edge of the circle for permission to come in. So, yeah, I don't know why they want to share this, but Telos. Yeah. So it's an interdimensional community that has already gone to the next level. I'm not even sure. I personally don't remember, but I think it came through in that channel message what dimension they're in. And they are holding this frequency to help support Earth as we transition. So they've already ascended into another frequency, and they live in the mountain and like around. And the second time I went to Shasta, I was like, do they know I'm here? Like, I was falling asleep at night having this telepathic communication, and the council, they were speaking, and they're like, yeah, they know you're here. We'll let them know. I was like, okay, well, if I'm supposed to communicate, if they want to, then it will happen, and I'm just like very neutral about it, have an open heart. But if it doesn't happen, I'm okay too, right? So the end of this retreat, we were there. I went on the mountain with a few of the girls, and then that's when he came through to talk to us. But they hold a lot of light there, and there's a lot of portals at Shasta. The last time I went, you could tell it was very special. The energy had switched, and there were a lot of interdimensional beings there. And those people that were with me that had never channeled, this was their first even like hearing about these forms of spiritual experiences, could feel it, and we could all feel it. So it was like living in heaven, but you're on earth.
Wow.
You could feel the peace. Yeah, it was really beautiful.
So you have these retreats. So you were doing a retreat there. Do you choose your retreat spaces usually based off of the energetics of the land, and then special codes or information comes through in the healing form to the people who are in the retreats, or how do you choose your locations?
Yeah, at that point, it was based on a message I got of the land where I had been and where I had connections. So I had somebody living. So that same year we went to Maui, I had a friend there. So she helped me set everything up. And I also have had experiences multiple times in Shasta, and I had support and community there. And I just had this calling in my heart to go there and hold a space for these women. It's a lot of work. If you could, I need to find some photos. I had like over the weight limits and over baggage limits. And I'm like flying cross country from Texas because I had all my stuff to, all my gifts and my musical instruments, like everything I wanted to bring, my crystals, all of that. So now it's more about everybody come where it's easier for me, so I can just load up my car. So we have a retreat in May that will be north of Houston. And this one will be focused more on the group in the setting that we're in and creating the space in that place. The other ones we went out on the land, we did a lot of hiking and all of that. This one is a more condensed, it's shorter in time, and we are doing more personal transformative modalities and experiences. So breath work, inner dance, sound therapy, channeled messages. I will be channeling the Council of Light, and a lot of like, okay, we're here to get the work done. Like, let's do this. What has been holding you back? What questions do you have? What's the biggest thing right now? Because many of us are feeling that. Like, I'm just going back to when I felt that. It was like, I know I'm supposed to be doing something and it's sitting right here. And for whatever reason, there's something like blocking me from that, holding me back. And one of the biggest breakthroughs for me was a breath session. Yeah, a breath work session. And I just cleared all of it. And in that process, I could see it was, they're calling it trauma. I'm going to go with it, trauma. But it was trauma, and it was programming from not only my childhood, but my ancestors around like this idea that we have to suffer or that we cannot be in our light. We cannot be strong and powerful. And it was holding me back from my purpose. And it was coded in my DNA. It's not my soul energy. So I was able to, like, through this breathwork session, really transmute it, pull it out of my system and be like, thank you, goodbye. So this is what we're going to be doing in May, a series of very intentional experiences to help people heal and get clarity so they can feel their fullest and move forward. Yeah.
And so if anyone has any questions about the retreat in May, you can put it into the question box or in the comments. Either way, if you have any questions, it's May 1st to 4th on Lake Livingston in Texas, right?
Yes, yeah, just north of Houston. And if you want to fly in, we have some ladies that are carpooling, and we also have friends that are driving in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just let us know.
Ask any questions if you have anything about it. There's still time to sign up. So who would be a good person if they're feeling like, oh, I kind of am interested in this, but I don't know if it's the right fit and I don't really do any of this kind of work already? Like, who's the ideal person who would benefit from this?
Yeah, I would say if you're feeling any sort of interest or energy come around where you're like, whoa, that sparked my interest, or I feel like this push to look further into it, then definitely do. Some people know right away. They're like, yep, I just know I'm going to sign up right now. And then some of us really are going through experiences in life where we want to be conscientious of our choices. And it's like, okay, I know I need to do this, but what is that going to mean? Because every time you up level, and I promise everybody in your life is going to feel it, there's going to be a shift that ripples, and it's for the better. It really is. I've been there. However, it's kind of like, okay, is this something that I can commit to right now? So if you want to take a couple of days and feel into everything and see if it's the right timing, I encourage that too, because it will up level you. So I think the person that would it be a good fit for is those who are ready to say, yes, I'm going to trust spirit. I'm going to trust my own soul. I know my guides are here, and if not, I want to get to know them better. But it's like following your heart to say, there's something here telling me now is the time. Now is really the time. And this is a personal decision, absolutely. But I'm here to share that it is the time for light workers. We've been training. It's like we've been saying these things, and then it's here. So if you keep saying, I'm waiting for the time that I'm supposed to be doing my work, it might be passing you by, right? Like it's here. Yeah.
So I can even personally say for myself, like when I would feel those nudges and I would just kind of ignore them and they would build and build and build. And then I finally just dedicated myself to either take the class or do this or, put myself out there. Everything shifted. And it's almost as though if you're feeling the call, and so a lot of people I work with in my own sessions and with my courses, they're all kind of feeling that same thing. Like, I'm feeling I want to clear this energy. I want to feel embodied. I want to feel connected to my inner truth. I want to be able to make decisions and let go of some of the grief of the past, but they're right there, but they're stuck. They feel like there's a shift coming, but they don't know how to get past it. And so doing something like this, if you're feeling called, going to a retreat where it's really dedicated to that personal transformation, it is a sign to the universe that you are ready to clear and up level it. And so I can personally say with my own experience, anytime I've honored that, it's always honored back tenfold back to me. And so somebody said that the question box isn't working, but they're asking if you are planning to have another one in 2024. So how do you plan your retreat?
Yeah, I'm literally going by spirit. We're planning one in probably September of 2023, and I'm sure we'll do another one in 2024. And then my friend Teresa Wynn, she is also offering some this year. That I don't think she's already got a couple that she's offering solo, and May we're working together, and in the fall we're working together, and I feel like I will be offering more the way like the messages that I've been getting. I feel like that is my path, and I did take a year off. I took a summer off because oh my gosh, like 2 years ago, I did two retreats and I released a new book, my audio book for activating the star seed. And then the Ultimate Guide to Channeling book came out. And I was like, girl, I need to make sure I have enough energy, in the reserves. I need some self-care. So now I'm definitely coming back out to work more with groups and one-on-one. And so I don't have anything yet, but it feels like, yeah, that's going to happen.
And I feel you on that because I think for what I've been receiving is smaller groups of people, even in the work I do. So I don't obviously do retreats, but I am going to this retreat in May. So I will be there as well. And I'm excited about that because I haven't ever been in a community and in a group in which I'm not showing up as well, like being the person involved. So I'm excited to experience this retreat center. But also, what was I saying? Oh yeah, smaller groups of people, community, getting together, finding people who can connect with you on the same level. It's so healing and you don't even know what you're missing until you experience it. So for me, it's been all online, but I can only imagine meeting people in person and feeling that connection, how relieving that is to be able to experience.
Yeah, it's incredible. And every retreat that I've done, and Teresa and I were talking about this, and for her too, you're gonna meet somebody like we just witnessed this. We see every retreat where people come together and it's like, wait a minute, I know you. Like there's a lot of soul connections too. And so from like the Shasta retreat, there's 5 women from there that I speak to all the time. It was such a soul level connection. And I was like, wow. And they live all over the world and we're in all different, backgrounds of our careers and ages and stages of life and everything. And it's like, but you're a light worker, like you don't do work like I do, but you're a light worker, whatever place in the world their path has taken them in career. And it's just really cool. So meeting people in person, there is a level of healing, like deep healing, to just meet other community, especially for us if we've gone through hardships and struggles where we feel alone. it's that friendship and community means everything. And I agree with, like, there's such a strong, beautiful experience to be able to connect online. I think there's so much to that also. But then it is a bit different when you can hug somebody in person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And just for anyone, when she talked about the star seed transmissions that you have at its spirit school online, and you can say the actual website if you want, so I don't mess it up. Is it just spiritschool.com or
It's spiritschoolonline.com.
.com? Okay, that online. I did that, and I did that maybe like last year or something, and you can really feel the energy. So if you're wondering, like, oh, can I feel energy? Would I be able to experience it? You can try that. It's not expensive. You're offering for that, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like $33. And actually, what's funny is right now, today's April 1st, haha, I had open for free the Palladian frequency and I haven't closed it. It was supposed to close today, but I'll leave it up for like another week if someone wants to test it, try it out. That frequency was really soft and gentle. And I think it's like maybe 15 minutes. But the thing with a transmission is you're going to feel it and the energy can go on for the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can really unlock some things for you. Like for my husband, we listened to it together. And so for me, I had my certain ones that I kind of like really resonated with. And for him, one of the strongest one was the Lyrans. And he was able to, yeah, he like saw his like guide from there and made a like a connection. And now he speaks to this Lyran guide. I listened to one and it knocked me out. Yeah. He connected with his Lyran and now he works with them. Like, and so he loves it. So it can really kind of like shift your energy and vibration. So it's an easy way to kind of move into seeing how Amy works, how she sends transmissions, and to see how you respond and maybe in feeling energy. But also, I wanted to ask you, like, do you have any examples or any experience where people have like experienced a channeling from you and had big shifts or anything kind of shift for them?
Yeah, yeah, so a couple of things are coming through. First, I'm just smiling because your husband, tuned in, and I was gonna say my husband tuned in too. He was sitting in the room with me, and then I think it was Liz on here was saying it knocked her out. So he was in the room with me, and I can't remember what star frequency came in, but he was like, "Whoa," and like he's like,
Mhm.
he's like, "I'm gonna fall out of my chair," and I'm like, "Yeah," and that was the one where my guides were holding my
Yeah.
body so that I could stay, as a balanced channel, but so first of all, you can feel it. Many people do. And one of the first in-person gatherings, it was like, yeah, it was at a retreat. One of the women said, "Oh my gosh, I felt a little like I was getting nauseous, like I'm pregnant or something." And I'm like, "Well, you're just sitting a bit too close to my energy field because when I channel, my aura goes out. Like our aura for a normal person should be to the edge of your fingertips, so about 6 feet across. And it like triples at least. So after she backed up, she felt really good. So I'm just sharing, like, people can feel it. And so if your physical body isn't quite ready, then, if you're in person, you just kind of back up a little bit. The last retreat I did in the fall was in Sedona, and two of the women there had physical problems with their legs or something, their hip or something. I can't remember the details. But then afterwards they said, "You know what, Amy, I felt that release and it's gone. Like it left." So we had two physical healings in Sedona. And that is a similar setup than what we'll be doing in May. So everybody gets to relax. The council comes in, they channel in a message, and then they were doing energy work on everyone. So anything that might be out of alignment, they can come in and help realign. Just like a chiropractic adjustment, if you want to look at the anatomy of the energy body, but also if there's like a thought or a program or a trauma. And girl, like right now, past life stuff is coming up so, so much. They've really been working with people in past life. And they're sharing right now to share with everyone if they would like. I do offer one-on-one sessions with the Council of Light.
I meant to ask that if people can connect in with the Council of Light in that way that isn't just at the retreat, but your own sessions.
Yeah, it's amysikarskie.com. You can go, or they're saying some people know me from Raise the Vibe Tribe, so raisethevibetribe.com. You can book a session with the Council of Light.
And then you also do past life regressions, which is what you said kind of entered you to this.
Yes, yes. So starting out in spirituality, it's everybody has their own experience. I'm a very stubborn person. I just am. And I'm like, I'm not going to so growing up, I was in this religion. And when I found my way out from that moment forward, I was like, I'm not going to put my spirituality in the hands of anybody else. Like, if I'm going to have an experience, I'm going to have the experience. So, doing these classes, connecting with my guides, and then having myself go under hypnosis in a session and seeing multiple past lives was life changing for me because I knew it wasn't a reading where somebody was sharing the info. Now, kind of full circle, come back around, I do both. I offer readings and I share info, and I also offer people that want to have their own experience to go under hypnosis, and I help guide the way. And the cool thing to it, which I noticed early on, it's not so you have mainstream hypnotherapy based on topics, but you also have technique. Well, I'm clairvoyant. So, and I feel energy. So I am there and I'm like guiding you. Even past lives is a little bit different in the process of hypnotherapy, but I can kind of see the example that I'm showing. They're telling me is like I had a friend and she kept going to a past life and she was in this house and she was downstairs and I was like, well, is there an upstairs? And she's like, no. And there was. I could see it. So I had to rephrase my wording and so we did this technique and she found the stairs and she went upstairs and that's where the trauma was. That's where everything her subconscious was blocking away and that's where the healing was. So being able to tune in with spirit and them tell me, no, there is an upstairs. She needs to go. That was like an added experience I think that I have from my gifts so it could help her get there. But to that, some people want a reading, and I do a lot of readings, like myself. I get messages, and I'm like, this is important. I want to double check, or what maybe am I not seeing because of my own human blocks, my own beliefs or what have you. So I do offer hypnotherapy for anybody who would like to have their own session. It is me guiding you through where you have the experience. You receive the information, and if you choose, you can share with me. Some people find it very private and they just keep it to themselves. So, yeah.
And then is there anything that you want to, or the council, because I know that you're not like you can feel their energy because time you guys may be seeing Amy kind of looking to the side or up, she's kind of hearing that kind of stream of consciousness or that stream of energy, but she's not like channeling in the way that she can fully, but is channeling. Is there any last kind of information or a message, especially for people who are on the fence about going to the retreat or being involved in a channeling session or a healing in a healing capacity?
Yeah. I'm feeling so much. Yes, they're here. They're here. So for myself, from a human perspective, I like to always know what's going on, and I'm very sensitive to energy, and so I do have like a strong boundary. So I feel that anybody that comes to these experiences know that you are in control. Like you are the one who regulates your healing. You are the one who says, I'm interested, or maybe that's too much for me right now. And we are there to help, like guide, hold your hand, be your support, assist you through whatever comes up. And so at the retreats, there are many opportunities to receive healings and messages and that aha moment, and then also integration. So we'll be offering like 5 or 6 different activities. And if you have any apprehension or questions, like I would just say, let's talk about it. Is it a fear maybe coming up? Like, is there just information that you need? And that was something even for myself when I started to physically channel, I had a couple questions. Once they were answered, it was like, boom, let's go, So I would say just always be honest with your feelings. If you have the guides right now are saying insecurities. So somebody will have insecurities. So talk about it. Let's talk about it. Insecurities often come from past lives, I've noticed, or childhood, but really past lives. I've been clearing a lot of those lately, like these insecurities, even within myself, and it's like, oh, that came from a past life. But what we have to know is we're in a new reality right now, and the same rules don't apply. Everything's different now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and so can you tell people how they can find more information? So for me, I also have it in my link tree, the link to the retreat, but can you tell people how to find more information or how to ask questions if they're interested?
Yeah, so if you go to raisethevibetribe.com, which is probably easier for everyone to spell, or amysikarskie.com, same website, you go there and there's information on the top banner about the retreat. And it talks a little bit about the activities, the beds that we have available. We have one private room right now. I think it's a queen bed. And then we have shared rooms, two kings. So you would only share with one other person. This space that we're at is it's set up for like more of a private experience in the evenings so that you can integrate. And if you need to separate from the group to journal, you can do that. So you would go there, and then there's an application, and you can apply there. But you can also send me an email or send me a direct message here at Amy Sikarskie if you have any questions about any of the specifics. I will be online for the weekend, so I'll be here if you have any questions. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Well, I'm so excited. And like I said, guys, I'm going to be there as well, May 1st through 4th for my first time in Texas and my first retreat. So I experienced the Council of Light, and then Teresa, it's her healing that she does and dragon channeling, and then other activities that are dance and ceremonies that are really being created to kind of honor anyone where they're at in their journey. And it's specified for you, unique to you, of how you're going to experience it.
Yes, thank you, Laila. And I'm getting one little message. I think it's just a reiteration that if you're feeling that this is for you, follow that, because there are people that are waiting. Oh, I'm going to cry. Oh, this is a strong message. It's coming through. There are people that are waiting to meet you. And for those of us that put others before ourselves, maybe we need that little push. Like, who are you helping by playing small or fearful of your gifts or the possibilities? This is a blink of an eye, this little reality, so live it to the fullest. There are people waiting to meet you, and if you feel like this is an opportunity to help you break through any of that, and I'm hearing somebody's going to be feeling fear and abandonment issues. So if that resonates with you, this might be you, but that's one direct message that's coming in right now. So if you feel like you're trying to break through and really find that healing within yourself, that's where it starts, and then you can show up for others. You gotta show up for yourself first, though.
100% ending of the message for whoever's kind of maybe feeling those energies of fear and abandonment, and that goes with the past lives, and it goes with our younger selves, and all these kind of things that we're going to be working on and diving into. So thank you, Amy, and we'll be doing this again at some point. I know it's hard to channel the Council of Light on here because I know that it can mess with the technology because the energy is so strong. So it can be difficult to channel on here as well. But yeah, the live experience, I can't wait to feel, because I'm such a feeler as well. So I can't wait to feel that energy. So thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And thanks for having me on. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
And yeah, so this will be reposted, and you guys will be able to watch this replay if you weren't able to see or start from the beginning. And then, like we said, you can go to my link tree, my link in bio, to connect to Amy, or you can go to Amy Sikarskie or Raise the Vibe Tribe and find out more information about the retreat. Also, in my people who are in my newsletter, I sent out some emails, and then Amy has a newsletter as well that you can join and get all the information. And then I also want to reiterate the sessions that you offer, and then also the Starseed transmission on Spirit School Online, as a really low cost, huge bang for your buck, honestly. I mean, what is it, 6 or 7 different?
Yeah. I feel, if I can recall, it's like 6 or 7 different star races, and then a transmission from the Council of Light to meet your guardian dragon. So if anybody is really feeling that they have starseed energy, we work with dragons. It's just what we do, and they're amazing. They're guardian protectors, and this would introduce you into, it's a meditation to
Oh,
connect with your
super cool.
guardian dragon.
All right. So yeah, guys, check that out if you're feeling called. And you guys have a good weekend. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you. Bye,
Yeah.
everyone. Bye.